What's up everyone, some guy here with another Alliance War video. Season 26, WAR3, we are versing against TGGN. Never faced them before. They were Plat 2 last season, so we are hoping we can go with a win. But of course we're not going to take this war lightly. Moving on to Path 5 here, we have this Hitmonkey on Ebb and Flow Knockdown. There is an apocalypse boss, so I will be bringing Guillotine, and this is the fight that I will be using her to ramp her up on. It's a very straightforward fight. I am going to speed this forward just because it's just literally parry, or I do a bunch of intercept just because Guillotine 2099's light intercept is pretty safe to do with the far reach. So you just bait out his SP1 or Hitmonkey's SP1 and punish, and just get yourself to an SP3 before he dies and fire it off, and game over. That was actually my only fight in Section 1. So moving to Section 2, we have this Mojo on Ebb and Flow Intercept and Sadist. I will be using Torch. Torch is pretty safe for almost all Mystics, so this one's only a 5-star as well. It is on Ebb and Flow Intercept. I am going to try to get some intercepts in, but I was kind of a little bit worried about triggering Protect, since Mojo is Protect, a large champ. I was trying not to trigger any of his prompts and trying not to build his hater charges up, because I think when it gets to 5 charges, he can inflict a pretty nasty degen on you, and it can do a number of damage on you, even for a 5-star, I think. But yeah, I am trying to bait out his SP1 here without triggering Dex, but he's just not throwing it, and he's just being really passive with his special. Yeah, I keep parrying and going back, and I keep triggering his prompts, the stuns and the dashbacks, and then he finally throws it, but I accidentally dexed anyway and triggered precision buff. So right now I'm just waiting out the icon to be over so I can go in and dash, so that the precision buff doesn't get nullified into a degen. I think, yeah, right, it was kind of sketchy here. I was trying to do a light intercept in, but I missed, and he was just standing there. I don't want to hit him because I will get parried. I throw my SP2 here hoping it wouldn't crit, and it didn't, so it didn't trigger Protect. Even if it did, I'm not sure if it would trigger Protect. So he's almost down here, but I keep triggering a bunch of prompts, and I do push him to an SP2. So I'm just trying to bait out this special here, but I just get kind of cornered to the wall here, so I decided to throw some combos in, which triggers a degen on me, but he's pretty much almost down by now. I should have just comboed, but he throws his SP2, but he goes down after the first hit of it. So not the cleanest fight, but I'll take it. Moving to Sasquatch here on Ebb and Flow Intercept and Redouble Determination. This is the fight I saved my Nova Flame for, just so I don't have to worry too much about the power gain. This is also only a 5-star, so I wasn't too worried about it. I got a nice intercept at the start to do some damage in. I was hoping he would throw more specials when the passive fury is up and the protection is down, so that the power sting can do a lot of damage. It did this time, but the next time I do it, it doesn't. And then I also get clipped very soon. Yeah, right there I tried to do a light intercept, but I missed. I was just too early, I think, and he just caught me with it. Luckily he didn't he crit a lot, but he didn't throw that many combos into me. Plus I'm kind of boosted with health, so I was okay, but I shouldn't do that intercept over here. He was almost down anyway. I shouldn't risk it. I should have just parried and hit him, since he would have died anyway. Because if I did miss the intercept, he probably would have, if he caught me, I think he could KO me. so too risky there. All right, moving on to the next fight, we have a Rhino. It's also a 5-star on redoubled determination and crumbling armor. I will be using Nick Fury. The bleeds enough should be able to do damage to get him down, even with the protection up. I don't plan on intercepting him since you know, he becomes unstoppable and stuff. So he will hit you, and if he has a Fury up, he can hit pretty hard actually. The redouble determination actually helps me a bit, so I can always make sure he has a bar of power, so I can bait it out and get my openings in. I try not to throw my SP2. I was trying to throw my SP1, but I do remember that whenever I did throw the SP1, it doesn't really do anything other than giving him a disorienting debuff, and it just gives him more willpower. So I just decided to save to my SP3 instead. I didn't want to throw my SP2 just because I didn't want to accidentally trigger protect. I also don't want to parry him when he's far away, just because he has a chance of becoming unblockable. So yeah, and my combos enough, the bleeds plus the redouble should be enough to give him at least a bar of power every time I finish my full combo. So yeah, it's a pretty simple fight for Nick Fury. Alright, moving to Bidney Boss Island here, we have this M.O.D.O.K on a Stunning Reflection. I've taken this fight a few times last season, so I'm pretty familiar with it. I just had to look through my old videos to refresh my memories. M.O.D.O.K has this passive force field, and it can trigger auto block, but it doesn't stun you from parry or anything. But if you shut it down, it'll come back every 7 seconds, so you just have to keep that in mind when you're fighting him. Every time you turn it off, after 7 seconds it will come back. I'm pretty familiar with fighting against M.O.D.O.K just from all the practice from Abyss, so I'm pretty comfortable fully dexing his SP1 close up. I just bait out all these heavies and try and turn off the force field and then go in with my combo. I also have to make sure I time my last hit well just before his force field comes back. I don't do a too good job of it just right here. My last hit into his force field, so luckily I didn't get punished for it. But that is why I saved my SP3 for, just to get me out of it. If for some reason I do hit my last combo into him and he auto blocks it, I can always use my SP3 to I guess bail me out of it, or an SP1. I just want to make sure I don't use my SP2 on him, just because I don't want to trigger protect. He is a large champion. You can intercept him to get your openings or get rid of the protect, but I don't want to have to intercept. I used my SP3 there because I accidentally triggered his auto block again while I was, I think, on my second to last combo there, but I just threw it anyway. This one's only a 5-star, so it was a fairly easy fight. Just to be patient and just have to, I guess, keep in mind of his force field charges or his force field timer whenever it comes back. Yeah, so right here I threw my SP1 to get me out of it because I messed up on the timing. I think I throw another one soon, but yeah, pretty simple fight for Nick Fury. I think Moleman is also a good counter for this fight, just because he's also a large champion, so you can always just spam your heavies in the corner and turn off protect. So both are pretty good counters for this fight. Alright, moving in the next fight, we have this rank 3 Mr. Fantastic here on the evade node. I forget the nodes, but it's a bunch of evade and brute force and limber. I didn't have the luxury with the white mag pre-fight for this fight, so I was a little bit worried just because of the limber and his brute force His special one also gives you a bunch of debuffs, which is nice for willpower, but it'll make him evade a lot more. His SP2's animation is very long, so a lot of times his SP2, if you're trying to bait out his SP2, it'll take a while, and then his SP2 animation plus the SP2 animation, you can get into brute force pretty easily. So that's one thing you have to worry about. I did throw on the advanced power boost just so I can throw my SP1s back to back to gain my tactical charges up. I wasn't that worried just because even if I get into my second life, it should be pretty much game over, since the tactical charges will stay and won't fall off, and I can constantly have above 5 tactical charges, and I won't have to worry about the evade. And once I get into the unblockable phase, it should be pretty much over. I guess the brute force would be one thing I have to be worried about if he's being passive and not throwing his specials. I am also trying to bait out his heavies, mostly just because I don't want to trigger the limber too many times. I think towards the end I do use up all the limber. Towards the end I just stick with parry and then light combos, just so I can get my openings in faster. I think it was here or coming up where I just do a light combo, but his heavies is pretty easy to evade. It's just his SP2 animation is really long, and it can trigger brute force, so you just have to be wary of that. Nick Fury's SP1, or whenever Nick Fury knocks down the opponent, he also purifies all the debuffs, which is nice, so he doesn't have too many debuffs on me, and he won't constantly be evading and gaining power. But yeah, for the most part it goes pretty well. I just have to be pretty patient with it. So yeah, the brute force just kicks in, and I just had enough time to go and punish. Luckily you can punish his SP2, both of his specials from back to back, so it wasn't too much of a, you don't have to worry too much about the brute force. Alright, moving on to the Apocalypse boss here. This one's only a rank 2, so I wasn't too worried about it. I was pretty boosted already. I also had the advanced power boost, which should be able to get this fight down even faster. So I was pretty relaxed for this fight just because I've taken it so many times. Yeah, I wasn't worried about it, but this one is only a rank 2, so it should be even faster. So far it's going pretty well. I throw my SP2, just want to keep him to an SP2 because I know how to fully evade his SP2, and then punish it, and then Guillotine's light attack has a very far reach, so you can safely light intercept Apocalypse. But yeah, so far it's going pretty well. I used to do a lot of risky intercepts just because I see the openings. But this fight here, it is gonna bite me back. I took it pretty early in the morning. I saw the opening here, but he was very close to the wall, so he actually retaliated faster than I expected, just because he was so close to me. If he was far from me, I would have gotten that intercept 100% of the time, but he was too close to me, and I didn't realize. I just saw the animation and I saw the opening and went for it. So I got clipped, and it hurt pretty bad. It took me almost half my health, and his Guillotine 2099's invisible cloak actually saved me from it. But right now my combo shield is down in cooldown, so I can't lose my combo shield, just because if I lose my combo, it's gonna turn to this fight into a very long fight. I start not manage my power very well, or his power very well. So right here I didn't get to his SP2. I was a little bit short of it. I'm kind of getting flustered just because I got hit there. It's my first time getting hit from him while fighting against him in a while. So yeah, I was very flustered pretty much. And then right here I missed the evade on his heavy. I was hoping he would dash in and I can bait out his heavy that way, and then I accidentally dex and he triggered his SP1. I was not prepared to evade it in the corner, and I was hoping the block would be enough for me to get me out of it, but his paralysis was just too much. And even with the regen getting triggered and even with all my boost, yeah, I still died. It was very unfortunate. I was pretty shocked, not gonna lie. I haven't died against Apocalypse in a while, and that just, yeah, that kind of ruined my day. I probably shouldn't have gone back in just because I've lost my combo already, so Guillotine's not going to hit very hard. I probably should have just waited for someone who has a rank 3 Warlock. I know a bunch of our teammates brought Warlock for their path and probably for backup as well. But I was pretty boosted, and I was just really flustered and what happened. and I just went in for it because I just want to get revenge, I guess. But then after I got in, I just realized I don't have the combo anymore. She's not ramped up, so this fight is gonna take a lot longer than I expected. And you know what happens in the war when the longer the fight, the more risky it is, and the more prone for mistakes. But yeah, I'm just trying my best to stay sharp, and make sure I look out for his heavies. Um, it's a pretty interesting heavy that he threw. He threw it as he was walking towards me. So a lot of times AIs throw heavies when they're attacking into your block, and then they throw a heavy. But yeah, he was just walking up to me, and then he throws the heavy when he gets close to my range. So not very usual, and it definitely caught me off guard, and I just wasn't expecting it. I was expecting him to hit into my block, and then throw a heavy, and then I can get my opening that way. But yeah, he just threw the heavy straight up, and it just caught me off guard, and then it pushed me into the corner. And then when he was throwing his combos into my block, I don't know why I accidentally dexed that last one, and then they gave him an opening, and it triggered the AI to use his SP1. And I just wasn't expecting him to use his SP1, and it just caught me off guard. I just was not prepared to evade his SP1 in the corner. A lot of times I can evade most of it, or fully evade it, or even just partially evade it, but that time I just wasn't even paying attention. I didn't when I realized he threw the SP1, it was already too late, where I've already lost my timing to where I usually dex his SP1, so I didn't want to risk it, so I just blocked it. And I was hoping I had enough health to cushion me to not kill me. But yeah, even if it didn't kill me, it would have been a pretty hard fight, just because I would have been very low on health. But yeah, we did take him down a second time, but not the best. Unfortunately, we do also lose this war. We died a bunch of times this war. At the time when I was fighting the boss, we had already pretty much lost. So yeah, I didn't feel too bad, but it did kill my streak for this season very early. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully it'll be a better war.